Manifest destiny! Put blood on the hands of Christ! Call themselves Christians! Gave themselves the rights! Disguised as missionaries! Really after gold! Many Indians died for that, how many's never told! Manifest destiny! Manifest destiny!
Hey, this is Birgit Haugen with Superscum.com, and we're here in Denver, Colorado with Harald O, and we're going to talk about the book, Murder in the Front Row. Came out yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yesterday, and I didn't get copies in time, but it's people are going to be blown away, I think. I'm really excited about it. So,
whose idea was it? Was it Brian's or yours?
That's something I've been wanting to do like my whole life. And it's like a dream is to put out a book with all my best, photos from like Slayer, Metallica, Exodus and stuff. And so I talked to Monty Connor, the guy that runs Roadrunner Records, and he suggested this guy, Ian Christie, and he's got a company called Bazillion Points down here. And so I gave him a call, and we started talking about it. And then Brian Liu, another photographer who I've known probably for 30 years, he's got even earlier Metallica photos and stuff than I do. So we got a hold of him, and then between me, the publisher Ian, and Brian, we just knocked the whole thing out in about 2 years. So, but it came out really cool. I'm really excited about it.
So how hard was it to decide which pictures are going to make the cut and which ones don't?
It was pretty tough. I mean, I got enough for a couple more volumes easily. So I want to do more Murder in the Front Row. And yeah, I want to do like a whole volume on Slayer, a whole volume on Metallica. That's just a drop in the bucket. But basically what we did was I loaded a bunch of my best stuff on Facebook. And you can have like a private group where nobody else sees it. So only me, the publisher, and Brian were able to look at the thing on Facebook. And then we just picked out of probably like, a couple thousand photos, It was really tough to decide which ones, because we got so many, But show you a little bit of the book here. The book's like almost 300 pages, and it's got all the killer old flyers and shit from all the old Bay Area stuff, and yeah, and getting some meat of the book here. Fucking all the old Metallica shots that fucking like that shot there. I mean, look at that shit, man. The James Hetfield fucking checking his gear, was on their very first show in San Francisco, And then what else? Very first practice with Cliff Burton. Fucking Cliff's very first shows with the band, and then fucking Halloween when right after Kill 'Em All came out, and Cliff was fucking amazing. I mean, he was the fucking coolest guy you could ever want to photograph. It's my shot from Ride the Lightning, and a bunch of Brian shots. But yeah, one thing I got to say about the book is that back then there was a really good sense of community with everybody in the metal scene. Everybody like hung out with everybody else. And there wasn't like weird competition, and it wasn't like Slayer or Megadeth were on tour. They would just come up to the Bay Area and hang out for like a week or two, And Ricky Nolt, you can see his eyes are very big for some strange reason, but yeah. And there's tons of like Slayer and Exodus. That's another one that is really cool. Is they became really good friends together.
Gary Holt also wrote something. He did
exactly. Gary Holt from Exodus, Rob Flynn from Machine Head Violence, and Alex Skolnick all wrote pieces in here too. So, but like we're getting beer across the street from the club, with Jeff Hanneman and shit, And here's Rob Flynn and his first band, Forbidden, when they were Forbidden Evil. He's in Machine Head now. Testament, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, Possessed, all that shit, but. El Duce you were asking about. Yes. Duce was a fucking classic, man. He was hilarious. He would do whatever you wanted him to do. He could get him to do any shit. And but one thing that I got to stress too is that back then there was no distinction between the bands and the fans. Everybody just hung out together. It wasn't like there's James Hetfield or anything like that. So it was all I mean, we were just kids, But that's probably one of my favorite shots. There's Toby Rage fucking doing a crazy ass stage dive from fucking 40, 50 feet up. Letter from Dave Mustaine, he sent me about my photos. Postcard, set list from fucking Metallica. There's all the thanks and everything. And there's Rob Flynn's piece that he wrote, and fucking Gwar and Pantera and Violence, fucking, I don't want to give too much away, fucking clip shots from hell. Alex Skolnick, Testament shit. Anyway, you get the idea.
Now, is it a coincidence that it's also 30 year of Metallica and it's the same year that the book came out?
That's kind of the weird thing is like our timing couldn't be more perfect for this. Big Four getting together and just thrash making like a comeback seems like. So we're just, I guess the stars were aligned basically. It was nothing planned like, a long time ago, but it took us about 2 years altogether to put it out and everything. So
I did an interview earlier this year with Rob from Death Angel, and I asked him, I said, dude, are you going to be in that book too? And he said, I bet I am. I'm going to kick his ass if I'm not.
There's some Death Angel stuff in there. No, those guys are great. I did their very first photo shoot when Andy was 12. So, yeah, there's some Death Angel in here. There's Andy when he was 12 with Dave Mustaine, 12 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And look at fucking Rob's bangs right there, So,
Jesus.
fuck yeah. No, we tried to put a little bit of all the bands from the Bay Area. There's always going to be some people that think that so-and-so should have been there, but it's just from my perspective. It's not a history book. It's more like a time machine kind of thing,
So do you guys, since you have so much more material, do you plan on doing a volume 2?
Oh, for sure. Definitely. I'm going to start working on that now. We're here at the Bluebird Theater in Denver with D.R.I, and we finally have 2 months off, so I'm going to try to do that on my time off. So, yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, you can get it from bazillionpoints.com, BAZILLION points.com. If you order it from them, you get this cool dust jacket with Slayer or with Metallica and Exodus on it. And or you can get it from Amazon too, but we prefer you buy it directly from the publisher. And available at finer bookstores everywhere.
So Border and whatever is still open.
Exactly. And for Europe, it's supposed to be out, I think, in middle of January, I think.
Translated?
I don't think they're going to translate it, but we got good distribution over there, so it should be available there. And yeah, check it out, man. The buzz on it's been really cool. People have been really psyched on it and stuff. So,
real quick, the other day you were at the Fillmore when Metallica had their Fillmore, right?
Yeah.
At the 30-year anniversary gigs.
Right.
How was that?
That was probably the most mind-blowing Metallica shows I've ever seen in my life, and I've been to a lot of shows. It was just, I'm almost speechless. It's like, basically anybody that sang the original version of any of their cover tunes that they did on Garage Days came there and sang with them, It was Glenn Danzig, I can't even think. There were so many.
Diamond.
Merciful Fate Reformed. Yeah, it was just mind-blowing, and it was a total fun show. They had like a trivia quiz thing with Jim Brewer, the comedian. He was like the MC, and then all kinds of weird shit happened. I met Mike Judge from King of the Hill, who did that. He was really cool, and it's like,
Time of your life.
oh my God, it was just amazing. I mean, Metallica, people can talk all the shit they want, but at the end of the day, they know how to throw a party, and it's just like, oh my God, it was so much fun. I only got to go to 2 out of the 4 shows because I had to go on tour with my band D.R.I.
Speaking of which, we're all waiting in the van for you to leave now.
Are you?
Okay.
Okay, well, with that, thank you very much. Check it out, Murder in the Front Row, D.R.I., the band. I play with them too. Check it out. Buy our album.
Recommend it.
Yes, yes, and thanks a lot, man.